What do you do when your whole family gets turned into monsters? Well, if you're anything like the kid starring in the movie Antlers, you try to keep them alive and try to avoid going insane, which is difficult when you're around 10 years old. Um, Basically, this is a new take on the old story of the Wendigo. Basically, a cannibalistic spirit that freezes the hearts of humans who are too cowardly to just accept death when the weather gets really cold and the food runs out. Because let's face it, if it comes to starvation, a lot of people would choose not to starve no matter what the cost. And yet the cost is always too high. The kid in this film, I believed that he had gone through some PTSD stuff because he's quiet, he's got this dead-eyed stare, and at this point, he's just lost the ability to feel fear. Anything, really, let alone fear. I wanted to see him saved, but there was the question of whether or not he had succumbed to the curse as well. Add into that a teacher, played by Carrie Russell, who identifies with the boy because her character has also suffered trauma at a young age. And add into that Native American curse. And basically, you got a modern fairy tale. The rest of the cast did okay. The teacher had a brother who wasn't exactly comic relief, but he was more than just set dressing. Also, the kid's afflicted father and little brother also have a fair amount of personality. The dad plays it like he's going through the worst drug withdrawal ever, right up until he becomes an animatronic monster. The little brother character, his eyes are so innocent, but you can tell that he's basically 6 feet under. He's just under the earth yet. And it's tragic, but fairy tales usually end with tragedy. Other characters include a bully who is fairly stereotypical, but let's just say his story arc is worth watching just to see what happens to him. Overall, everyone's acting was fairly believable. It felt like the whole town was cursed, almost. Like the Wendigo that was trapped in a old mine shaft somehow had hold of everyone, and it made the whole thing feel like an Edgar Allan Poe story. The effects were amazing. Like I said, the Wendigo itself was animatronic, I believe. And apart from a bit of CGI here and there, the creature was very impressive. Even though it was mostly seen in shadow, what we do get is very intimidating. Once again, the locations are like characters on their own. The house of the cursed family, the old, ancient woods that hold a lot of dark spirits. The abandoned mine, which may be opening up soon, but they're about to open a Pandora's box, basically. And just all of Oregon itself, where the film is set, it just has this mysterious aura around it. Probably why Gravity Falls was set in Oregon. Anyway, the story itself does drag in places a bit, but it shows just how far some people are willing to go to help loved ones who are afflicted with a curse or something as innocuous as mental illness or addiction. And the way the curse affects the people involved, it's very convincing of a representation of human foibles and just how sick someone can really get. It isn't my favorite movie, but it wasn't terrible. At the very least, watch it for the practical effects. This is Mr. J signing out and reminding you, don't eat people and don't do drugs.